Shirsha, you can start the session. I'm on mute actually.
Okay, has everyone joined?
Yeah, you can continue. They will be joining.
Okay. Hi Ashok, hi Nikhil. Myself Sirisha. Today I'm going to brief you on BPFs, business process flows. Okay, let me share my screen. Can you able to see my screen? I have shared it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, today we are going to discuss about business process flows. In short, we can call it as BPFs. Same as workflows, BPFs are also automated processes in the Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM. In short, BPFs are we use BPFs to create staging on the form entities. Like it helps the users to uh, follow the sequence of steps. We can understand more clearly while creating, and we can understand more. So let me start with explaining visually. So as a best practice, currently I'm creating the new solution for today's section. Uh, I have given solution name and unique name, and I have taken LUIT publisher. Uh, I'm not selecting any in the advanced. So I'm creating my solution here. Mm. So before creating, let's understand what is BPF and what is business process flow in simple terms. Process flow is nothing but it's helps in staging the form. Um, it's we can say it's a roadmap on the CRM form entities. So we can create the BPFs within the solution on the new in the automation. We can find process here. Uh, I mean, above the workflow, we have seen business process flow. Using this, we can create the business process flow. Before that, this is also entity specific. It can be created on the entity. So let's take. Let's have existing tables itself. Yesterday we have seen student and course entities. So we'll continue with the same. Student. So I have taken two. So adding, let me add objects as well. So here we got the two tables, existing tables we have got from, let me check. So course has the course type and fee. Okay. In the table we have course. Just I'm checking what are the available fields so that we can have it directly in our BPF. Okay. So using these tables, what I want to create is I want to create a BPF on enrollment entity. That is another entity which takes the data from the student and course. I mean, enrollment is nothing but student who is opting for some course, his student is enrolling for some such a he desired course. For that, I'm taking one more table. Let me take the existing one. This is also custom entity I have created previously, so I'm using it now. So we have course enrollment and student tables. So we are going to have a BPF on enrollment table. So let me, so within the solution, in the new, in the drop, I mean, here we'll find automation. In the automation, we'll find the process, so choose the business process flow. Here, it asks for a display name. It's a mandatory one. Once we give the display name, automatically the name, I mean, logical name will be generated. Here, it should be unique. We have to give the name. It's easily understandable so that we can use, I mean, we can understand in the future also. Like by seeing the name itself, we can understand what it's about. So here I'm giving enrollment BPF. We have to choose the table. That's it. It's a very simple to create the BPF. Once we create that, the UI will be like this. Here we can see BPF. The process name is which we have given. Owner is LT4 admin. I mean the environmental admin name. The BPF we have creating on the enrollment entity. It has given primary entity. Here in the BPF, we can have along with the primary entity, we can add up to 5 entities on the BPF. For suppose here I have taken 3 tables, so more than one table. Like that, I can add 3 more also. What I can say here, before going further, we should understand the components of BPF. This is stage. I mean, business process flow is nothing but creating a staging of the process, step by step process. So it consists of steps. That in that first is stage, and each stage again it can have data steps. So let's understand what is stage. Stage means, for example, let me give you a simple example. If you take any competitive exams, initially we'll take initial test. Like if we pass 10th only, we can take that competitive test. That's the initial primary requirement that we can have it in the one stage. If we um, if we clear that, then only we can go to the next stage. That kind of actions, I mean that kind of information we can have, what are all required in the primary step. I mean one stage we can have it in the one stage. Stage is nothing but a one step which can have multiple steps. Multiple steps means we can have a data step. Data step is nothing but a field values. I mean, adding the fields from that entity. As we are working on the enrollment entity, it will give us the fields from the enrollment, that primary entity. So here we can give the, we are working on the enrollment entity. As you can see, new stage here, we can rename that. I mean, whatever name we want, we can keep that. So for now, I'm keeping it as application category. We can relate it to the like identify. I mean, this application also, it's not mandatory to give, but we can whether it is a qualify step, develop step. I mean, at what stage it is. I'm taking identify entity. So I have, as of now, I am having only one stage. The name hasn't replicated here because I haven't applied it. So once I click on apply, it got implemented. So this is application stage. We can have stages here. So here I want to have uh, student. Yeah, it's here. Let me create the app so that we can see. I'm creating one model driven app for this BPF to see. Mhm. As we are in a process of understanding the BPF components, I'm taking a very simple examples so that we can understand. So here I'm having the enrollment. So already it has it seems. Okay, let me add the steps to it. So as of now, we have a student. I want to add one more data steps to it. So here on the add button, on clicking it, we can see what are action. I mean, what all we can perform on the BPF. So we can add stages, add conditions, add data flow, workflow, action steps, and flow step. As of now, we are adding step. So when we click on that, it will give place kind, I mean, this kind of usual. On clicking it, it enables us to add the one more stage. So here again, we have to give the name. For this, I'm giving approval. So what my requirement is, once the user has given student name, uh, I have given it is mandatory. So if unless he filled it, he can't go to the next stage. That's the requirement here. So for, if he fills that field, then only he'll go to the approval stage. In that, what I'm adding, oh, I'm adding all at once so that we can go to the live one directly. Here I'm taking sample. This is also mandatory. Apply. So in the first stage, we have two data steps, that is student and course mandatory fields. If he fills that, then only he'll go to the next stage. In the next stage, it has um, we, if you want, we can also name to the each step. Let me select this. I'm selecting status. ENR is nothing but the enrollment status. Uh, enrollment status. If you want, we can give the name to the each step as well. Just for our understanding, if we share this BPF to any others also, it's easy for understandable purpose. We are giving this name. It's not mandatory. As we are, I mean, if as I'm creating, I can understand at any time. if I share to someone by reading I mean, it's nothing but kind of comment by understand. He can understand going through the names. Also, I want to add one more data step to it. See, whenever I'm clicking on the add and add data step, it's showing adding step. I mean, before to that existing data step or after the data step, where to add that new step, it's giving us chance. So as I mean, I can choose the place where I want to have that step. So here I'm having enrollment state. Sorry. Okay, how did I take it? I think. Okay. Already I have taken the enrollment status. So, I mean, I don't want these steps now. So, how to delete it? Here, on clicking the data step, we'll find the whatever actions we can perform in it. So, I could do anything, cut, copy, I mean, anything. So, as of now, I don't require this. So, I'm deleting the data step. Let's check with these two stages. Validate, validation successful, activate. The purpose of the business flow itself is to stage. So at every stage, we are through this, what we can achieve means to maintain the data consistency, data purity. I mean, no, whatever needed, whatever the critical information we needed, we are gathering through these steps. I mean, instead of filling up the all not unnecessary, whatever not required immediately, we are taking whatever crucial to proceed further. That's the purpose of the. So I have activated it. I go to- So then refresh. Mhm. Uh, just give me a second. Let me check. Nothing. Just I'm ensuring whether the whatever I have activated now. I'm just ensuring whether it is working or not. Um, So other way to create the process is from advanced settings. In the advanced settings, we'll have different categories. In that, in the process center, we'll have the processes. From there also, we can create the flows, process name category, like whether it is a business process flow or workflow. From here also, we can create on whatever entity we require. I mean, within the solution, directly we are creating on the entity. If it is in the settings, we have to choose manually from on which entity we can create. This is one of the way. I have created and I imposed BPF on that. Mm, yeah. It takes sometimes it takes times based on the internet speed or due to background activities. But that time we have to do our refresh. So it got implemented here. So BPF will look like this. It's staging. So I have mentioned here in the first stage, I have two fields, that is student field and course field, which has to be filled mandatorily. Those are required fields in the, so that asterisk represents the mandatory field. Let's take some, this one. Okay. Save. Okay. Uh, it's not. See, as that is the mandatory field, we have to fill that. After filling that only, it the next stage will be enabled, not enabled. We can perform the operations on the next stage unless I mean required field has to be filled. Then only we can go to the next stage. That's the meaning of this filling up mandate. I mean required fields in this BPF. This is the BPF flow. Whatever we are seeing here, the enrollment BPF, the name of the BPF, and these are the stages we have added in our flow. This is about the stages, and gate approval means once it met with the initial conditions, like it has to be filled mandatorily, then only it can capable to go next stage. That is the one thing. So next we'll have mm, so we can have one field here. What I want to do is, if payment is done, then only status is set to approved. I mean, if a student paid fee for that course, then he is eligible to enter into the course. I mean, he can start his course. That's the one thing. So here we have uh, one, what is this? Field, payment field with the two choices, paid and pending. That's our requirement. Let's see how to achieve that. So here, let me have one condition. So before that, we can have a fee field in the our enrollment table. If you have any doubts in between, you can ask at any time. In the enrollment entity, enrollment table, I'm adding one custom field, that is fee. It's a manual one, uh, just to understand our requirement. If the student pays the fee, he moves to the next stage. Fees. So here I'm taking just option set, yes, no, like that. Yes, no. Okay, as I have added the fields. I'm adding up the fee here. Also, status. This is OB field. I want to have enrollment status. So I'm, as of now, I'm hiding it now because we are working on the fee and enrollment. So if P is paid, then it should change to the I mean, it should shift to the active. I mean, student is active now. He has paid. He'll proceed to the further one. This is our form. We have fee. We can have payment statement. So here we have one more data step. That's a mandatory one. Status. I'm making it. This is required. If I mean, by knowing this only, we can update this related field. If the payment. So on it, I want to add a condition here. Here, like here, based on the previous step, here we have a female. Sorry, I haven't applied. That's why. So based on the previous step data field, we are having the condition here. Payment step. I want to add a condition that if the payment status equals to paid, I'm applying it. I want to go to the next stage. Let me start. Apply. If not, as of now, I tried to update the BPF, but I got one error. Whenever we get error, we'll get. I mean, it will be populated on the stage. The error is present. So here I have a data step, but I haven't added any field. That's why I got that error. Um, Here also I'm playing this same. So at every stage we have one data steps. So hopefully it will. So validation is successful. The whatever warnings are success message information we will get here on top of the this below this BPF information. So I'm hard refreshing this UI. It takes it takes 2-3 refreshments to update. So based on this, if you want here.
Create one more.
Sorry, Harish.
Create one more record. Why do you want to have it here only?
Okay. Okay. We create one more. Course. As we are discussing here, student is S2. Payment status is pending. Haven't made it required. That's why without filling also we are able to see this button next stage. Once we have moved to the next stage, finish. I haven't mentioned any conditions over there. See, whenever I it's not showing. Let me create one more. Okay. No, we have to. Okay, what my condition is, if I have to update the status as well. For that, we can impose business rules as well. I mean, as of now, I haven't given any rules or any update uh, conditions anyway. That's why it's not implemented there. But the purpose is whenever we have mentioned if the payment status is paid, it has to go to the next stage. It's going to the next stage, but we haven't updated the status. For that, we can have the business rules. We can impose the business rules, or we can also have workflows to update the related fields. So this is about this. So this is how we have will add the stages into the BPF, and to add the steps to it, we can have data steps. We can also add data workflows, action steps, and anything. Uh, here once this adding up the conditions in between the stages is nothing but the branching. It has created the branch. If it is yes, it's following one flow. If not, it's going bypassing the paths based on the condition. It's the branching in the BPF. And if we have mentioned anything is mandatory or required, it has to be filled, then only it goes to the next step. if you see, we haven't mentioned, we haven't taken this as a required field. So with, as of now, this is the two options set. So by default, it's choosing one. If in some cases, it can be empty values also. If we haven't mentioned required there, it will take that input as well. That's the purpose of the making the field required. So if we check this box, it becomes the required and has to be filled field. If we haven't checked that, that will be the optional one. If you fill it or not fill, it doesn't affect the flow. It can move to the next step. By taking the condition, it gives the chance to, if condition mentioned in the this stage met, it will go to the success stage. If it gets successed, it moves to the whatever the stage added at the success stage. If not, other stage will be come up. So whenever we create in this, whenever we create a BPF, additional, entity, out of the box entity will be created for this BPF one. For example, not example, here we have created BPF on the enrollment entity. So this is our table. We have created BPF with the name enrollment BPF, and we have activated it, and we are using it. So in the dataverse, let me go there. If you check here, yeah, we have created BPF in our solution, and as I mentioned, uh, for every BPF, the BPF entity, respective BPF entity will be created in our database. Dataverse. That is for in our case here, enrollment is our entity on which we have created BPF. So for the same, enrollment BPF has created automatically. We have not created it manually. Whenever we create a BPF on any entity, the respective BPF entity will be created. So BPF, as you can see, it will have these columns: active stage. Active stage means at what stage the record is present. Let's observe enrollment ID. This way we have given status reason. These are the stages we have created in our BPF application course start. This record is at that stage. So for every record we created in the BPF, one process ID, active stage ID, the stage at which it is present, the ID will be created for that. Why? What's the purpose of this means? We can use this in reporting, so that as we have taken the simple example, in real time this BPF, and if you practice, if you go through any modules, in every module we'll find this kind of BPFs. If we take the sales module, from lead to if lead qualifies, it moves to the next state, like that. uh, in if if new employee joins, from onboarding to his exit from that company, that BPF will be maintained for that. So in BPF is present in every module. It's very useful because we are capturing whatever critical information needed. It helps in the smooth flow of the transition. stage to stage. What else we have to cover?
Yeah, thank you, Sirisha. So, whenever we learn any topic, first we need to understand why do we need it. So we learned business rules, we learned power automate, we learned workflows, and today we are learning. So why do we need business process flow? In simple, suppose you have. Let me share my screen.
Okay. Thank you, Harish.
Yeah. Do you see my screen? So
Not
whatever
yet,
the
Harish.
concept you, yeah, whatever the concept you learn, just remember why do we need it? What is the help of this for backend? Backend means the resource. Now if you see here, yesterday I created on S1 table, student table. Now suppose if I feel
Uh,
these are all,
Sorry, Harish, your screen is not visible.
what screen you could say?
Level up
I'm
hydrogen,
reshare.
even your logo, your profile is.
Now
I'm seeing your profile. I mean, level up IT training.
what about others? You just stop sharing. I think you
Oh,
already.
I have.
What about the others? Nikhil cycling. You could see my S1 record, right?
Yes, 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 Harish.
Okay. So what we are discussing, whatever the concept you learn daily, so first of all, you need to understand why do we need it? Why do we developer need it? And what is the benefit for this, the real users, whoever using the application. Now, yesterday I created this LUT app. Here I have student courses. Let's assume. Now, suppose if you want to mandate the fields, everything here. Suppose, let me go to the Power Apps. So I'm going to advanced settings. From here, I'm going to the solution. So it will be open in a Power Apps. So from the Power App, yesterday I had already a solution, right? So I have to go to my solution. So here what I'm expecting, see this email course, everything is like a mandatory field for me. So if to create a student record in my system, all these are mandatory. But based upon that, based upon this data only, I can process the flow. So whenever student, let's take the same example what she explained. So she's explained about enrollment, right? So let's take the same example here. So by default, you don't have any BPF here, right? Do you see any BPF here? No. So for this same student record, I want to apply BPF. So for that purpose, what I need to do? So I'm using the same yesterday solution. Here I have the student record, everything, right? So I'm going to the student form. Did I add forms yesterday? No. So I'm adding the forms here, my main form. Okay, now I'm going to the form. So what I'm expecting, I want every detail. Email detail is needed, course is needed, registration is needed, fee paid is needed, student status, everything I am expecting. So in that scenarios, what I can do everything as a mandatory, right? It's table column level. You need to make it as a required everywhere. Instead of optional, you will be keeping business required. So when you keep business required, what will happen? Before while creating the record itself, it will expect to it will expect to fill the data, but in the real term based upon the stage we will be filling, right? Suppose let's take the student example. For the first step they will take the name and email. In the next step they will take the course. In the next step they will check the whether fee is paid or not, like that. Okay, so I'm just making everything is mandatory for now to explain it. Okay, I just made it and publishing. So what will happen now? Whenever I get my latent changes with Control F5, now I'm creating a new record. I'm not going to use existing. So whenever creating a new, here itself it is expecting all details, name, email, course, registration date, everything. But in the real scenario, any business process that will be done in stages, right? Suppose for the student enrollment, you will go to some institute, you will give your details, name and email, and you will check about course details. What are the course available at their end? After then, you will do a registration. Then you will do a payment at the end. So if you don't have business process flows, everything you need to fill it in the beginning, or everything you need to give it as an optional. Suppose if you don't make it mandatory, either you will just give the name and you will ignore every other data, or either you need to make every other data at same time. So to avoid that kind of extreme scenarios, either filling every detail or ignoring every detail. So with help of business process flows, we will create stages. For this stage, enrollment stage, I need name and email. And next in the course stage, I will need course info. Then in the payment stage, I will get the payment details like that. Okay. So this is my student entity, right? So for the student entity, what I'm expecting. So I'm just undoing this dates business required. So I'm going to column and editing property. Okay. I'm making optional. We have seen, right, what do you mean by business required, what is mean by business recommended, everything we have seen, right? If you give a business recommended, it will give a kind of recommendation. If it is optional, it will go, either you can fill the data or you can ignore the data. So that's how it works. So I'm just reverted my changes, whatever there, it is same like that. Now I just want to create a flow for this record. So what I will do from the maker portal, I am going to the here new component. So I have to choose automation, choose process, then business process flow. So here you need to give some name. So this is it. You are giving some name. Now if you see, whenever you create display name, it will give the LNT environment. Here you need to choose on which entity you want to apply this business process flow. Now for my scenario, I just want to run on student, right? So I need to look for student. So this is the entity you are choosing. Now once you should choose the, so it will be displayed like this. So here you will have the steps, the stages. At what stage, what you want to do. Now if you see here, you have steps and you have triggered process. Two things here are there. I'm just recapping everything. Suppose in the first stage, I'm just like enrollment primary info. So he has to change his name and email address. So for that purpose, I'm not choosing any category here. Here I'm just choosing the data steps. Data step means you have to provide the data. Now here the first step is like email communication. Okay, here you need to choose the field. So I am using email field. I am choosing as required. Okay. Now here it is showing sequence. If you have multiple fields, you can add the sequence. Okay. I just click on the apply. Then what I'm expecting in the initial stage. What is the initial stage? Primary info enrollment, right? Primary info. So here you need to click on apply, then only it will reflect. Okay. Now I just click on it. Now you got the data step. In this step, I'm expecting email and name as a mandatory. Name as already mandatory. Still, you can, if you want to add, you can add it. Okay. Now I'm just adding that again. Add a data step. You can use the place button, same as business root below and above. So if you click on below, it will create below. If you click on top, it will click on before. Okay. So I'm giving name is must. You can give whatever the name you want to have it. Now I'm choosing the name field. Name is already mandatory field. Still you are filling. So it's not, it kind of a duplicate only, but to make it process. If suppose if they do anything backend, if they create also, if you make mandatory here, it will enforce the user to fill the detail. Okay. Now this is my first step. Next step, what I'm filling, I'm just in one more stage, that is course details. So in this stage, what he has to do, he has to choose the course. Okay. So I'm not selecting category. I'm just clicking on apply. So in this stage, I'm selecting which field, course field as a mandatory. Okay. Now this is done. So at next step, I want to see the fee, whether he paid the fee or not. Okay. So I'm adding one more stage. So here is a payment status. So choosing on apply here, by default, you'll be getting one data step. I am choosing my fee paid field. Okay. Step also that only, not a problem. Now at the end, I said like enrollment completed. It could be any, you can give any kind of like student, create a student record, anything you can do at the end. So enrollment completed. So here, I have to choose something, right? So here, if you see, you can suppose I'm making status. We have some enrollment status, student status is red. So I'm filling this as a required by the whoever managing this LUT app. So I just check my validations. Then I'm clicking on activate. So what I'm doing here, earlier in this case, everything are mandated to first stage or everything are like optional in. But what I'm doing with business process flow, I am defining a certain process. They need to fill these details at this stage. They need to fill these details at this stage. Like that, I'm defining, right? That is the business process flow. You are defining a process for your application, for your entity. That's what business process means. Okay. Now you created a business process flow now. Okay. So, to reflect business process flow, you need to create a new record as a best practice, because already existing record it will have some other rules, everything, right? So sometimes it may break because the fields might be already filled. It can't do proper validations. Okay. So what I'm doing, I am doing a control F5 to get my latest changes. Okay. So for this is new record. Now if you see, you have this business process stage, you have enrollment, primary info, course details, payment. But if you see here, everything is like a except name, nothing is mandatory. Okay. Now I'm just filling my name. Now, so what will happen? So this is a simple basic record is created. Now what I want to complete the enrollment process. For that, what you need to do, you have to follow this entire stages. Then only enrollment will be completed. Okay. Now if you see, by default, you have student status is inactive. That student status has to make active. Now if you see here, now you just created the name. To move it to the next stage, if you click on here, communication email, required fields must be filled in. So to process your record, you have to fill this communication email and name is. Name is already you added. So you need to fill the remaining detail. Okay. So I'm filling my remaining email. Then only it will move to the next stage. So what will happen? So it is enforcing user to fill the details for each stage. Now, if we click on, even the course is mandatory for this form. If you click on the next stage, did I uncheck that? So in the process, if you see here this one, I didn't check the required. So what will happen? It won't do anything. So that is kind of optional field. So that's why here, if you click on here, it went to the next stage. Okay, same way, if you see, for every stage, you have a previous button arrow and the next stage. So with help of this next stage and this arrow, you can navigating across stages. If you click on this again, it will go to the previous stage. Here you will be choosing some environment. Here I made mandate optional. but in general, at least one field will be mandated for each stage to move across. So I'm just filling the course detail. Now I'm filling fee paid. Yes. So what will happen whenever fee paid is yes, the enrollment should complete, right? So I will click on next stage. Now till now student status is inactive. So what I'm doing in the last status, the admin, whoever is managing this app, they are making active. Okay. Now status required field must be filled. Okay, now if you see you have this stage tick marks. Yes, like tick mark is mean you are now for the current stage you could see like this one. So in general, no one, suppose if you want to manage some kind of report, they don't come to each record and they don't see at what level, how many are pending for payment, how many are at course status, they can't see, right? So what will happen by default, whenever you create a BPF, another table will be created. So what is my table BPF here? LUT enrollment, right? Now if you go to tables here in the tables make power portal, if you look for all, if you search with the same name, LUT, so you have assignment conductor, everything. Okay, what is my name? LUT enrollment, right? This is my, now you see a new table is created. So, but this is working on the student entity, but in the backend, a new BPF will be created with the BPF name. Now if you see the here, right now you created for one record. So if you see here active stage, it is showing enrollment completed. If I change anything here, like I'm just moving the stage to previous. So the current stage will be fee, this payment status, right? Now if I refresh the record here, okay. Let me refresh it. Now if you see, now it is in the payment sheet. So what will happen? So you can have a track of it for each record. Where is the at what stage the record is there. So like that, you can check the stages with this entity. So whatever the name you gave for BPF, the same table will be here. Okay. Now next thing. So in the process, if you see, we just seen steps. In the steps, we are adding like data field, whether it is mandatory or optional. But in the BPF, apart from this making mandatory, making optional, you can trigger a process. Suppose if you see here, whenever communication email, whenever they give the primary info, I want to send an email. Suppose in the whenever I click on add, you could see add stage, add conditions. She explained already. Now if you see add data step, we are using already. Then you have a add workflow, add a flow, Power Apps, Power Automate flow, add a action. The next class is that only. And we have a add workflow. Yesterday we have seen, right? So workflow. So if whenever you create a workflow here, it will ask, we are creating for student entry. So it will be created on student only. When do you want to trigger? Whether stage entry or stage exit. So you are filling name details, communication details in this stage, right? So to send an email to student whenever they fill data. So I'm choosing stage exit. So what will happen whenever they have given communication email and name, you want to send an email. So for that purpose, what I'm doing, I'm creating a new workflow. Here I'm clicking on new. Whenever I clicking on new, the yesterday screen, it will be shown what is the process name. So I'm choosing sending notification. This is student entity and you are creating a workflow and I'm choosing new blank. So this is the same screen yesterday we have seen, right? So now if you see here, The same thing, activate as process, you have to check whether it is running in the background or real time. That's up to your use. And here, instead of record created, you have to choose option, whatever the, apart from this flow, if you want to use it any other trigger, you can use this. Okay. So what I want to, in the add step, I will be using the sending email. Yesterday, we haven't covered this. If you see here in the add step, you have a send email. Now, whenever you see send email, it will create a email record. Email means nothing but a email message in the CRM. So send email, it is creating a new message. If you click on the properties, so what will happen? It will choose the from address to address, whom do you want to send, and it will have the for which record you are sending. Okay. So let's, for the time being, I'm selecting the hard coded values. I'm selecting from LT4 admin. Okay. So two will be like whoever creating the record. Let's assume the student record, whoever is, okay, like this. So I'm just in creating as an on-demand process as well to make it call it from other place. I just activated it. So once it is activated, if you go to the process, if you click on search, so welcome email sending notification. Yesterday we created welcome email, right? Now we just created sending notification. So here you can choose the which workflow you want to trigger. So I'm giving the step also. If you want to give anything, you can give the step. I'm just clicking on apply. So what will happen whenever you fill the communication email name details at the stage exit, this workflow will trigger. Okay. Same way, what I want to do, whenever they paid the fee, I want to set the student status to active. Okay. So for that purpose, at what stage I have to create? So here I want to make it right whenever they fill the data. So I want to trigger a workflow. So for that purpose, what I'm doing, trigger process, add a workflow, click on workflow. Here you want to trigger it on stage exit, and you want to create a new because you want to check the whether fee is paid or not, right? Then that. Okay, now I am filling process name like fee payment check. So here what I will do, whether the fee is paid, then I will set the status to active. Otherwise, I will make it inactive. Okay. So for that purpose, what I have to do, I have to check the conditions, right? Here I'm checking condition. So what is the condition I want to keep? Whether the student paid the fee or not. So student and fee paid equals yes. Okay. Then what I want to do, I want to set a update to the same record, right? Student record. On which property I want to make update? Student status to active. Okay. I'm just activating this, choosing on demand, activating. One second, I have to uncheck this record is created. I'm just unchecking that. Chosen. So what will happen along with data steps, you can have a triggers as well. You can call a workflow, you can call a Power Automate workflow like that you can use. Now, what you're doing, I'm just validating this. It is asking something. You have to choose it. And what is my new fee payment check? I'm just clicking on update, clicking on save, activate. So what will happen now? Whenever mail is sent, whenever the email details given, the mail workflow will be triggered. Whenever you give fee paid details, the another workflow will trigger which will make the status to active student status. Now, as I said earlier, whenever you create a BPF, just try to work on the new entities. It won't affect the existing records. It will, because the data may be inaccurate, right? So it won't work. Now I'm just giving one more. So now nothing will happen because whenever I create a record, nothing I have mentioned. Now here I am just mentioning communication email. So what will happen on the next stage? It will trigger a workflow. How do you know whether it is triggered or not? If you go to yesterday we have seen, right, you have to go to process sessions. So same way you can go there, or you can go to power platform environment settings, click on process. You could see the process whatever there for you. My process means whichever created by me. So I'm just starting by time. So sending notification. You have say this is triggered. I haven't triggered manually. How it is triggered? From the business process flow, because I have a condition like whenever you enter the primary info and clicking on the next stage, I want to trigger. Okay. Now I'm choosing course. This is optional, but let's assume this is mandatory for now. Now I am filling, I'm going to next stage. Now, whenever fee paid is yes, what I'm doing from workflow, I am making student status to active. Let's see that. I'm just making the student status to active. Now, if you just refresh this record, you will get that active. Let's write. Not open. So to check this also, let's go to process. What is the other process? This is the close fee payment check. So I'm just checking fee paid equals to yes. Then I'm updating student. Go to here. This is succeeded, but I want to see where it is gone. So update, it has, if you see this condition is passed, then it is updating. Like that, you can see the stages. So as it is running in the backend, let me run refresh one more time to affect it. See, it is affected. So the enrollment process completed. You made the student status active based upon the payment status. If you set no, it won't do anything because it won't satisfy the condition. Getting any questions here? So whenever you learn a topic, either it be a business rule or workflow or BPF or security role or anything, why do you need it? Why are you developing? Obviously, it is for the end user experience, right? So you need to understand that for everything, why, what, when, who will be benefiting. Like all WH questions, you have to shoot it. Okay. Now, if you see, I created one more record. If you refresh it again, earlier we have only one record. If you refresh it, you will be having one more record. So with this business process flow table record, you can identify the stages for which record, what is the active stage, when they entered, everything you can see. Okay. Now, if you see here, active stage, status is active. Now, process, what is the process it is going on. Now, if you click on these columns, if you click on more, I'm just adding all for time being. So what are the columns you have? What is the active stage and whether the status is active or inactive means if BPF is not click on the complete, that will be like active. Suppose if you click on finish, why this is giving this status record must be filled in. Let's go back to editor. Let me clone this. Going back to form. Is it a mandatory field or do we have any other condition to make it mandatory? That we need to check because it is expecting even after filling the data, right? So going back to workflows, clicking on student table, clicking on form. I'm just opening my main form. So this is student status, right? Is it mandatory? Optional. I will go to my business process to check it. Where is business? This one, right? So what I'm doing here in the data step, status, student status. I'm checking unrequired. That's for now. So see, I have to deactivate to make it any change. I'm just deactivating. Deactivate. You have to make apply whatever the change you want to enforce. Click on here, apply. Then you are activating it again. So every time it will give a pop-up as a confirmation. So if you go to create one more record, clicking on save, or you can directly fill as well. You can fill the details. No need to create and fill the stage. You can have it both at once. So here it is in the current stage is this one. If you refresh this table here, you will have the 3 records now. Okay, all are like status if you see active active. The BPF record status reason. So you could see this one. Next, what you want to do? I just filling. I want to complete the this BPF entire process. So here I need to click on next stage. I am filling the next stage, filling the details is next stage. Here I'm just finishing it. So now it is finished. So if you come back to here, if you see the third stage, third one status, it could say like completed. So what does that mean? From this business process flow backend table, you can see everything. Whether it is a active means it would be somewhere stage in the middle or after middle in the middle or in the beginning. If you see the status reason is finished means this record completed the entire process. If you see, you could see the flag symbol. So means they have completed the entire business process. Okay. Any questions here? Understanding? Now also I could. So if you refresh this for this record also, you could see like finished. So why we have this table, extra table? What is the need of it? Suppose you want to pull how many records are with at entity primary information sharing. With this thing, you can identify, right? One person is at payment status, two persons are completed the enrollment. So with the help of this, you can be using for reporting purpose. So whoever is onboarding, the student onboarding, these many people are at this stage, these many people are at this stage. Like that, you can identify. Suppose if they are waiting at payment status for too many days, suppose this creator is 11/9. After 1 week also they are at payment status only. You can retrieve this record and you can send an email like please pay the due like that. So with help of this business process flow table, you can do all kind of operations, these extra operations. Getting? Okay, that's all for today. So try to create whatever the assignment we are sharing. And coming to tomorrow we will be having review and question and answer session. So I won't be sharing anything. You have to be ready in laptop. You have to share your assignment. You have to ask questions. Okay. So that's the plan for tomorrow. It will be like 7 o'clock only. Same like today. And from Monday, we will be starting the Power Automate. Okay. Any questions? If you see, we are at the almost near to 20 sessions. So the first classes are all are like theoretical, little bit simple. But if you see the from yesterday, we are doing actions, we are defining processes, right? So this process automation is important. Next, client side scripting is important. Server side scripting is important. So please do practice, then only you will get. So till now here, the first 15 days are like conceptual oriented. If you listen the class also, you will understand. You don't need to do practice. From the tester days, it is needed. You have to do practice. Because if you see, because whenever